Right now, in the German political landscape, Colin Fernandes, and also in the Social Democratic Party of Germany, there is unrest like never before. Why? I'll explain that to you in this video, so just listen to this for a moment.
Emerging from the crisis, but chairpersons Bas and Klingbeil are still facing calls to resign from their own members. It doesn't help that the finance minister wants to speed up the reforms.
And at the same time, yesterday in the European Parliament, the chat control was once again overturned. And yes, migrants are supposed to be sent directly abroad to be deported there. And once again, the firewall has fallen. It didn't help that the Christian Democratic Union talked with the European People's Party. Why not? Yesterday, they once again decided to work not only with the right-wing populists, but also with the far right, and to gather votes there. And they cheered. Yesterday in the European Parliament. So right-wing conservative forces were at work again yesterday. And that's exactly why things are blowing up again in the Social Democratic Party of Germany. Do you remember the case of Colin Fernandes? Let me give you another case and explain what happened in Spain. It just makes your toes curl. Me.
The father of the attacked girl is stunned.
She was supposed to get down on her knees in front of the attackers, and then each of the attackers hit her once again.
Where, please, are all the demonstrations in front of the Brandenburg Gate because of exactly these perpetrators? Warum schreit niemand auf? Do you actually know what happened in Spain yesterday? A girl was brutally abused by a group of people, I'll put it that way, and is now paralyzed from the waist down. She now wants to commit suicide because of her paralysis. I really have to be careful about what I say here, and yesterday she was allowed to end her life because she fell victim to a horde of people who don't belong here. Where are the outcries that we so desperately need? And if I may ask you for just one thing, please support this channel with a like and a subscription. It would help me tremendously so that we can spread these topics much further. And I really have to say it like this. YouTube is slowly starting to recognize that this channel is important again. And that's why I really want to sincerely thank all of the supporters again for helping me so much.
The 7th grade girl suffered a bruise on her left cheekbone. On top of that, there's the psychological stress. The parents have involved the police.
Where, by the way, the police have also been involved. It's finally happening now in Berlin-Neukölln. It's been going on for a while, but now it seems there are finally going to be consequences. Specifically, the left-wing politician who already knew about it beforehand and deliberately protected the perpetrators. She is now supposed to be removed from her office. And I have to say it, I really have to say it like this. Hopefully she will be sent to hell for what she has done. And I ask myself what kind of double standards are being used here. Because we already know that Colin Fernandes was absolutely involved in hate aid. And why was the whole thing blown up so much right before the entire Bundestag debate? From Ullman, however, I have to say so far, the only statement that has come out is that he apparently wasn't the one. And the false reports that were leaked to the press, now even Der Spiegel had to admit that and has backtracked significantly because of it. Because he actually gave false reports that maybe things didn't happen the way they were reported. What will actually remain of the Colin Fernandes case we'll probably see in the next few days, and that means I'll be happy to give another update on it soon. However, I have to say this here. I think my feeling, which I had right at the beginning, that things didn't really happen that way, didn't really deceive me after all. It was purely a Bundestag debate culture that had to be kicked off there. But what will really be up for debate again now, that's it.
The ministry is simply letting more than 200 projects expire at the end of the year, including the hate aid program. That's the organization that only became really well known through the Colin Fernandes case.
Yes, and there are even more projects like the Antonio Amadeo Foundation. They're also getting much less money now, and I hope that many more NGOs will have their funding cut. However, major cuts are supposed to be made here now. I mean, what they did in front of the Christian Democratic Union Party headquarters, that was really quite a piece of work. You probably still remember that.
Demonstrations against the right in front of the Christian Democratic Union headquarters last winter. Left-wing NGOs called for them after the joint asylum law vote by the Christian Democratic Union and Alternative for Germany.
And at the same time, yesterday in the European Parliament, new, stricter asylum laws were created again. That means that people can now be put in deportation detention, but not here in Europe anymore, instead outside of it. The next step they want to take is that people won't be allowed in here at all anymore, but instead will be gathered directly in the reception camps, to then see if they even have a right to come here, to enter Europe, nach Europa reinzukommen. But the Social Democratic Party of Germany opposed this yesterday and didn't want it because they said that asylum seekers cannot be equated with criminals. And they voted against the European People's Party, that is against the Christian Democratic Union. But then there were the right-wing parties who clearly said, we want to stay conservative here in Europe. We don't want to be flooded. That means Orban's party, Le Pen's party, and also the Alternative for Germany ensured a majority in the European Parliament yesterday. And at the same time, the chat control is finally expiring now. They didn't get any more extensions. Of course, the right-wing conservative forces work together there again as well. I just wonder why this isn't all over the media this morning. All right, because the non-governmental organization project is obviously much more important, and of course she can't be missing. With the latest information we've received about the gas storage levels and about gasoline. And just a quick note for those who are interested, yes, my wife is back home. I'm trying to make 3 videos a day again to tell you the truth about this political spectrum.
There are no shortages in the markets, neither for oil nor for gas.
But by the end of April, we'll run out of gasoline. Please, Miss Reich, could you explain to us how you were able to give an interview just 2 days ago where you clearly said, if this conflict continues, which is still the case, and yet we still don't have a problem on the markets. I just don't understand it. Do we have a gasoline problem, yes or no? You have to make up your mind within 48 hours, saying on one hand, oh, soon all the gasoline will be gone, and on the other hand saying, we have no problems at all. That doesn't work like that, and you should make a clear statement about it. As I said, starting at noon, I'll upload the next video where we'll take a deeper look into one or another piece of news.